Well, hey, everybody, we're talking with Dave Brown, who wrote an amazing book called Servant Selling. And everyone who has been on this Train Retail platform for a long time know that I am all about mindset. I'm all about what our approach to selling is. Dave, I thank you so much for being here today. This is going to be fantastic.
Thanks for having me. Excited.
All right.
Let's do it.
One of the things that I found interesting in the book is the reason you wrote the book in the first place, and it was about this tremendous feeling of dread going to bed at night. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think every salesperson experiences it whenever you get caught up trying to make a sale more for you than for the customer. I mean,
Right.
that's it. It's like you really want it. It's the end of the month. You got to hit your numbers, your car payment, whatever, house payment, all this stuff. Like the pressure that comes with working in this amazing industry that we get to work in, where I caught myself, and maybe some of you have too, is just the rationalization of it too. It's like, well, this is sales, right? You're not flat out lying to them, but you're also not fully on the integritous side either. There's shades of gray. You're not answering questions properly or trying to change subjects. I guess younger in my sales career, I'd catch myself doing that. And then they never knew, but I did. And I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like going, oh God, what am I going to feel today? Or that, I think that's kind of brings a lot of negative spotlight and connotation to our industry too, which I hate. I hate it.
Yeah. And you talk about sleeping at night, and having integrity. And I love that. One of the things, Dave, I think is if we look at the business of retail or even sales, there really aren't any colleges for this. There's no, you don't go to tech school to learn sales. How do you learn sales? It's very poorly trained. So our tendency in the business is to consider it kind of almost like an entry-level job, which amazes me because there's so much skill, there's so much practice that's involved in this, but especially in the retail world, it tends to be, until I find what I really want to do, I guess I'll go do this for a while. That tends to be the approach. I love so many things about this book. The heart of servanthood brings success and satisfaction.
We have our goals, and this is kind of what I was talking about. And selling is about serving. Serving is about selling. It's like and one can't exist without the other, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people connect with the title, just like you did too, Jimmy. They go, oh, that's the way I sell. And then I ask them a very direct question whenever they say that's the way I sell. So great. I ask them, are you a top producer? Are you one of the best that does what you do? And if they answer, well, no, like not yet, or I'm getting there, then I tell them they're missing the boat. Because servant salespeople, you need to sell more to serve more. Like it's not one or the other. It's not just I love helping people and I'm not going to push myself to be the best me. It's both. I'm going to push myself to be the best me and do it. And really, and at the end of the day, it's about talking to more people and getting more at bats, right? I mean, retail, it doesn't matter what the game is. Why did we get so good at selling ourselves? Because I knocked on 52,000 cold doors, made hundreds of thousands of prospecting calls. Like that's the game, and that's the servant selling game. It's you can't serve without growing, and you really can't grow without serving. So if that's the case, then go grow more. Like go talk to more people, go serve more people, go help more people. So that's where the concept comes from, and it gets fun. It gets really, really fun when you have that. If and as a lot of your listeners probably know, because like you said, you'd probably be able to write the book if I hadn't done
it. I would have. You beat me to it. But I guess one of the things that kind of struck me, and back to this original thought, is that my thought is this: if you feel guilty at night for some reason, if you feel remorse about something lacking in your integrity or the way you presented the product, you're doing it wrong. And what you just said is we should be celebrating, we should be rejoicing. And we should be top producers doing it right.
Well, that was the struggle. Like that was after that summer, and I start the book with a story about a family that really impacted me that I messed up with, y'all, that I really wasn't fully integritous with. And that haunted me all summer because it was a good name. And it was, I sold books.
The encyclopedias, right?
I will study guides, right? Not
Okay.
encyclopedias. But yes, similar concept, but educational materials, software like 20 years ago. You all remember
Yeah.
those CDs? We used to sell those CDs,
Yeah.
used to jam in computers, not anymore. But it was a family that I met when I was going door to door, knocking on doors, helping people. And like I said, I wasn't who I wanted to be. That haunted me all summer because their name was a very popular name in the territory, like in the
Hmm.
county. It helped me a lot. And then I get asked to speak at the national meeting for, 4,000 other people had done what I'd done. And I can't get this off my mind. And it was like, well, am I a fraud? Am I
Right.
literally, should
Right.
I do this or not? And I'm a prayer. So I just kind of gave it up and started talking to the he with the capital H. And it became clear. It's like, you need to do both, be the
Yeah.
best and be servant salesperson. Because I was scared to be a servant salesperson. I was scared that I couldn't be the best anymore because it was like,
Right.
well, what am I giving up? Right? Like,
Right.
if I'm not pushing to get each and every sale, if I'm, doing all the stuff to close and all of that, if I give that up and say it's really about them, am I still going to be the best? And the clear answer was do both. And it's been both for 20 years now. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves.
Come on. He told us
Yeah.
that.
That's biblical, by the way. That's Paul to the Philippians. But I love that because I've been feeling for a long time that we shouldn't feel guilty. We shouldn't feel that this is a substandard career. We shouldn't, we should be rejoicing. We should be, frankly, we should be the most celebrated and the best at what we do, shouldn't we?
We're the ones that get to bring joy to people's lives. Like a lot of people don't have somebody who's truly interested in them and wants to know what their needs are. And sales is a phenomenal place to show people how important they are and how great they are.
Ooh, I love that. Nice. Aligning someone's needs with your product or service so there is integrity for everyone involved.
Yep.
I love that. Being able to sleep every night without fear or recourse or remorse based upon your sales tactics that day. Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. Basing your sales on 100% conviction and 0% on pressure and deception.
Yep.
Amen. Amen. Preaching, baby. Yeah. Getting a yes or no to your questions and not a maybe.
Yeah, a lot of times, I'll comment on that one. They're just firm principles all throughout. And that's what's fun about servant selling. I do a lot of what servant selling is and what servant selling isn't. So I go back and forth so everyone can kind of put their own lives into it somehow. But that piece about the maybe, it blows me away. And anytime I walk into any store that I'm shopping at or, whatever I'm buying, people just don't ask direct questions, and they're almost scared to get a no, and sometimes they're scared to get a yes too because they don't ask powerful, strong questions. And then whenever people are like, "Well, people are telling me maybe all the time," and it's like, "Well, probably because you're being a maybe. That's why you're getting." Because you're a maybe. Like how much are you showing up for yourself powerfully and saying yes or no? And it's like, I just ask them to buy something. I don't get that. I don't get if you're going to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes with somebody and you don't know if they're going to buy from you or not, why not just ask them to buy something so you actually see if they are or not? And later on in the book, you'll get to it. I talk about the strikeout principle. I didn't play baseball growing up, but I know this because I was a phys ed major, really crushed it in school, but not really, but I just needed to get there to play sports. And that took me 5 years, my physical education major. But learning about baseball, whenever you swing the bat and you strike out, like everyone's okay with that. It's like, sure, you tried, but if you strike out and the ball flies past you and the umpire says go and you go back to the dugout, your boys give you a hard time because it's like, or whoever your team is, it's like, what did you didn't even try. Same thing in sales. Didn't even try to get the sale. Like at least try to say, well, do you want it? Like, can I get you signed up for it? Can we walk over to the cash register? Like, let's go do it. And then if you get a no, great. But sometimes you're not going to know and you're going to get a yes. But you know what you're not going to get with that question is a maybe. Like they may, I'll come back later. Well, no, let's do it right now. No, but it's like it's direct. So strike out and strike out the right way. Don't strike out looking. Strike out swinging.
Well, in the retail world today, people have to make a decision to come to your store.
Yeah.
They drive to your store. They get out of their car. They parked, whatever your parking situation is. They're standing in front of you. They're probably not there to just look and kill time.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to ask for the sale, because they want what they came in to get, right?
Don't be a backwards K. That's how it's recorded in the book in baseball. It's weird. Just looks weird. Strike out. Do the right K. Ask them.
This next one is awesome. Telling the truth, even if it means you could lose the sale.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the struggle, right? Inside me. That was like what if I lose this one? What if I say something about the product, if it's got this or it's got that in it, and but that's the truth, but it's not what they wanted to hear. Are they going to say no? And most of the time, no. They appreciate it whenever you just say what it is or say how it is. And
sure. And my thought on that is, if you do tell the truth and do lose the sale, they're not going to walk away from you with a negative attitude or a negative feeling. They're going to think you're a person of integrity.
Yep.
So, and then we fix it, or we find the right solution for them based upon whatever the truth is that maybe they didn't like, right?
And I'll say that too, Jimmy. I'll be like, you know what? This may cause it to not work out between us, but this is what it really is. And I've said that because we sell coaching now. We do one-on-one sales and sales leadership coaching at Southwestern Consulting. So that's the product that I'm selling all the time. And I'm like, well, I'll just say it. This may not work well for us working together, but this is the reality of it. And people really appreciate it.
I'll tell you what, if you use that tactic when you're dating, it's guaranteed to work for you.
Nice. It's a sale too, baby. That's a big one.
I know. You talk about it and hear about your wife too.
I do. Yep. That's how I got her. I had to close her. She was saying no.
Train retail.